Michael?
I want to go like my grandfather did, quietly in his sleep, not screaming like the passengers in his car. I think fear is one of those things. It's indefinable at times. When you first learned you had to have a bypass, when you first learned you have cancer, when you first learned you need yet another back surgery and this one's big, you go through a cycle. But I guess for me, John, just knowing the actuaries, we're going to leave our wives more than likely. And from just a pragmatic point of view, this is the day He's given me. Will I be faithful in it? A couple of quotes that I keep in the front of my Bible. One is Phillips Brooks, 1884, from a little devotion called The Candle of the Lord. He writes, "The reason we're led into and out of trouble again is not merely that we may value happiness more from having lost it once before and gained it again, but that we may know something which we could not know except by that teaching." And I love this, that we may bear on our nature some impress which could not have been stamped except on nature's softened to receive it. And I think in the frailty of our limping lives, God is doing something I do not understand. And my quest is not to be successful, but to be faithful. I will try to bless Him today. I hope I won't be a cynic tomorrow. I can get into that very quickly. I can get bitter very quickly. But if I go back to those three, I get up in the morning, I do the next thing, I spend time with Him, and I'm directed to, how do I serve You with what I have today? I don't really fear a lot about the future. It just doesn't worry me as much.
1 Peter chapter 4, verse 19. So then those of you who suffer according to the will of God, do two things. Number one, commit yourself to your faithful Creator. That's trusting God. And number two, continue to do good. That's obeying God. Trust and obey, for there's no other way. Really, to be happy is just to simply trust and obey when you're suffering. Don't have to understand all the reasons why. That'll come on the other side of eternity. God will turn over the underside of this tangled embroidery where there are so many dark and twisted threads that don't make sense, and it'll be all made plain. He'll give us the key which will unlock sense out of our seemingly senseless suffering. Until that day, we trust and obey and leave the answers to Him.